Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Amantes de StarCraft number 36. Welcome back to our monthly dose of Amantes action, of Brazilian action. We just wrapped up with the upper bracket finals, and with that we have Eric. He's waiting in the grand finals, waiting for his opponent. Is it going to be Master, Shakti, or Yan? Yet to be determined. We have 3 players remaining here, and we are here to find out which of these 3 will make it on to face off against Eric. We're here to find out. Let's go. As we are jumping into our lower bracket semifinals, we have our PvT between Shakti and Yan. Let's go. They're facing off. Again, Shakti, he did fall earlier to Master in that PvP. Yan fell to his opponents, fell to Eric, and now they face off against each other. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have the blue Protoss player. The blue Protoss representing Extremist Gaming from the land of Brazil. It is Shakti. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brazilian Terran player, the red Terran representing Team Hellfire. It is Yan. We go. As our players are going to be facing off, and I'm curious to see how they compare to each other. I'll be honest, when it comes to Shakti's performances and when it comes to his tournament runs, I've mainly casted him against either Eric or Master. Those are the 2 that we usually do see him face off against. It's a rare sight to see him against a Terran player. I think I've casted him against Inexorable once, true. Actually, I think it was in the most recent Code for Giants Cup, where Shakti did actually defeat Inexorable, but we'll see how he compares against Yan, because I don't think I've seen this matchup, at least in recent memory, in recent months. Maybe a couple of years ago, but yeah, in recent times, less so. So we'll see how they compare. As Shakti does take his natural, and Yan does move out. So far so good. Yan going for a single gas opener. Yan going for a faster expansion, a faster natural, some more economic start here from our Terran player. Likewise, Shakti going for a standard opener himself, just going for a gate expand into Cybercore. Okay, a bit of a greedier build here by Shakti. A little bit greedier. Outside of that, though, we are settling in. There's that CC on the low ground. Yan will expand. Shakti is here to attempt to delay, but the Marine is here to shut that down to make sure that Yan can safely get his base up and running. As the probe is going to fall. Yan is getting to his own setup. There's no faster like second racks or third racks. So far looking like a standard 1-1-1 here out of Yan. We'll see if he does lay his starport, if he does throw down extra raxes. That would be the sign of a 2-base all-in. But outside of that, we should be seeing something more standard out of Yan. Likewise, Shakti securing himself. Now, when it comes to Shakti's style here in this matchup, he is very fond of going very robo-heavy, very robo-heavy in PvT. At least that was the case many years ago. We'll see if that trend continues. We can see Yan getting a safety bunker up and running, the factory soon to complete, just reacting around Marines, not going reactor to Reaper or anything like that. No aggression, barely any scouting. And we have our take of choice. We do see Shakti opening up Twilight Council. Twilight Council opener. Out of our Protoss. Twilight Council most likely into Blink. I say most likely because if I recall correctly, Shakti, he had a very unique style against Inexorable last week. It's just not quite coming to mind. Yeah, maybe I just haven't slept enough. It's hard to say, but yeah, Shakti just had a very unique style, and we'll see if it comes to us here. It was very striking against Inexorable. For now, Blink. So standard opener, just into Blink, into a third base. How many gateways do we have? It's going to be 2 gate Blink into a third, so a very economic build here from Shakti. Very greedy, very economic. And Yan isn't really set up to punish him. Yan, he's going into a wood mine drop. This is designed to scout more so than punish a fast expansion. So fast base here by Shakti. See Shakti trying to bait out the mine shot to friendly fire. Doesn't quite get it. Yeah, now going for his second and soon to be his third racks. Tech Lab is on the way for tank production. Mine drop was scouted, so Shakti knows what's coming. And you can see Shakti moving out to intercept. Ooh, we'll see if he can. Medevac's moving out. Hallucination will miss the medevac. Shakti pulls back home. And he doesn't have stalkers in the main. Trying to get a read on what's going on. With a mine towards the main base. You can see Shakti, yep, rotates into the main as well. Does try to rotate over. Oh, he looks like, yeah, he spotted it. He did spot it. Did really spot the medevac. Is someone in position. Blink is done. And here comes the mine drop. Does blink in. Takes on the first Widow Mine. Mine goes down. Second Widow Mine towards that natural. And there is a blink. And oh, it's going to get 0 damage. Widow Mine will burrow. And we'll get 1 probe. If that. Ah, yes, blink. There's blink available. Nicely done. Doesn't lose a single unit here. At least Yan scouts, and at least Yan is now aware of the opener, is aware of the blink, is aware of the tech. But outside of that, Yan is stuck at home. And building up and investing into Interference Matrix, that I was not expecting. This is a rare sight in this matchup. It is a rare sight. Does have the Raven. Raven is usually used to harass across the map. But Yan, Disable tells us that Yan, he plans to commit with this push. Getting to stim, getting to extra tanks. Meanwhile, Shakti takes up 4th base already. Very fast 4th here out of Shakti. Jesus. It's a 2-base all in. Do you see what I see? I see 2 more maxes, and I do not see a 3rd CC. Yan. I'm curious if he will get add-ons here. If he gets add-ons, then he might still get a later 3rd. True. He might still expand. But, these maxes are a little bit telling. We'll see. We shall see. He may pull the boys with us as well, assuming that he commits. Shakti is rushing towards double forge, double upgrades into charge. Is just not finishing up his Raxes. Now moving out. Tanks still on siege. So far, very nice control out of Shakti. Picks off 3 Marines. Oh my god. Takes on 4. 4 Marines go down. Raxes are going for add-on swaps. This is why I assumed it was an all-in. You can see the Raxes, they're floating across the main. So very awkward setup, but they're floating across the main base. We are getting add-ons, which means we are getting a 3rd CC. If we stayed without add-ons, would have been a sign of an all-in, but no, it's switching over, is expanding. We're getting ready for a longer game. Okay. Getting into a longer game state. Likewise, this means that Shakti should get away with the 4th. The 4th base should finish getting up and running. Just such greedy play here. He's got 75 probes. He's crazy. 75 workers, catches a tank. 1 tank goes down. Gets the Raven. Oh, Raven does survive. Gets all 3 tanks. Yeah, the Raven as well. The Interference Matrix was useless, did nothing, was not a factor. And Yanni's in trouble. He lost 3 tanks, lost the Raven, big investments, including the upgrade. Yan going for a drop. You can see Shakti making 2 Colossus at a time. And Mass Zealot. And Shakti does collapse in that bunker. And bunker falls as well. Yan is going for the mineral line, and he will get some probe kills. Very nice damage. Gets 8, 9, 10 probes in the blink of an eye. Suddenly Yan, he's fighting back. It's been a rough start for Yan, but now he's getting some damage done. Dropping the main. This time he will be cleaned up though. Meanwhile, misrallied Immortal. Misrally there from the Protoss. Immortal gets thrown away. Okay. Yan is still in this. He is still in this game. Shuts down the Immortal. But Lots of Colossus are amassing. Shakti still has a lead. Still has a massive advantage. And I'll be honest, at this point, Shakti may just commit. He may just commit in. And this is how he was able to bring down an Inexorable earlier. By going Mass Zealot, Mass Expand, delayed gases. Again, no gases here at the natural, just one gas here at the fourth. Into Mass Colossus. And Shakti is doing well for himself. I mean, there's nothing to stop him. He cannot be stopped. No without some miscontrol. Nice mind shot. Mind shot goes off. Colossus swipes on the bio. Now Shakti should back off from here. Should retreat. Oh, it does stick around a little bit too long. Yeah, 6 rounds too long. Marauders they stem in. Can he get on top of the Colossus? Oh my god. He barely can. He barely will. Yeah, the Colossus will go down. Typically, when you push out like that, you wanna only fight as long as you have Zealots. When the Zealots run out, then you get the hell out of there. And Shakti, he overextended. Did overextend, but he may have too much anyway. Like it. That was a rough fight for Shakti, but he may just have too much. Boys are being pulled to defend, and more economic damage. Ay. As they'll say, catch reinforcements. SCV still going down. Yeah, and he just keeps warping in from across the map. More Stalkers, more Zealots. Sorry, Shakti keeps warping in from across the map. And he's so close to breaking in. It's a little bit more. And he has it. Does have it trading up against those Marines. Trading Zealots for bio. Colossus soon to arrive. Once again, as we run out of Zealots, Colossus should not push in. Not without Zealots. They need that support. Scan reveals the base, realize how far behind he is, and GG gets called. Shakti will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Shakti does take a lead in the series, getting a very strong start, going into double forge, double upgrades, mass zealots, into mass expansion. Remember, the 4th base was so fast. He got the 4th base before his 3rd was even saturated. A very greedy play, but because Yan opened up Widowmine drop, he didn't really have any way to punish. Likewise, Yan did go for a 3rd CC, did not go for a 2-base all-in, so he was unable to punish the greed of Shakti, and Shakti snowballed out of control. Did snowball out of control with that. Shakti does take a lead, and now we're here to find out, do we extend the series, do we go for the ace match, or does Shakti claim the series here and now? Let's go. So loading into game number 2. We go. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of This Is Gold, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Hellfire down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. It is Yan. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Ximius Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is Shakti. BD toss, yes. As a reminder, winding it back, if you recall, Shakti, he did open up 2-gate blink. He went 2-gate blink into a 3rd base, into a 4th before the gateway explosion, alongside double forge. Like, it was very, very greedy as an opener. And again, Yan, he did not punish. He was unable to. He didn't know he needed to. But my eyes are now on the Protoss. What's going on? As the probe is hidden towards the left-hand side, and we're getting ready for a proxy pylon, for a proxy gate. Show us what you got. Yeah, there it is. Pylon is on the way for that proxy gateway. So much more aggressive start here. Now, I was going to say, the goal of this, I believe, is to punish an economic build. But we can see Yan opens up double gas. Double gas opener. What does this mean? This means a racks into a factory. This means a delayed CC. Now, if the CC gets thrown down on the low ground, it is still going to be vulnerable to a cancel. If it gets thrown down on the high ground, if Yan plays it safe, then he's going to be okay. There we go. Yan, he fully walls up. Fully walls off. Yan for now is secure. From here, throws down the factory. And we'll see if he gets his CC on the high ground. We shall see. Shakti is expanding himself. Remember, there's no null in. This is just a way to get an economic lead early on by catching out the command center. Reaper moves out. Shakti, he's not making use of that gateway yet. Just scouting. It does get across the map. Sentry is almost out. Not yet, though. Sentry's still on the way. One probe is going to fall. Yeah, getting a CC on location. Warp Gate is still in production here. And Shakti, again, he didn't get an early Adept or an early Stalker. Otherwise, he could be pressuring this. He could be pressuring the command center. Waiting for Warp Gate instead, but that's a ways off. Yeah, it is very much a ways off here. So, interesting start. Second Reaper has arrived, going for the Sentry. Sentry will live. So far, up! Snipes the Reaper, let's go! Sentry kills the Reaper. Hallucination to the main, gets eyes on the setup, gets eyes on the CC. Shakti knows. Shakti doesn't respond. Again, just going for the Twilight Council. Are we crazy? Okay, I was gonna say, are we crazy enough to proxy a Dark Shrine? But there is no proxy probe. There's no probe out here, so we're just chilling. Just settling in. So far, 2-gate blink. The natural does complete. And based on this response, it looks like Shakti, he was only really intending on trying to punish a more economic build, a Rax Expand, and no more than that. And because that's not the opener that we saw out of Yan, Shakti didn't go for it. Didn't go for it. Yep, 2-gate blink into a third. This is the same opener we saw last game. Very greedy. There's that third base. And we should soon be seeing double forge. Yan is building up. Did go into a 1-1-1. Now with a second Rax on the way into a third Rax. This time we can see no Widowmine production. This time earlier tanks. So much. Oh wait, my apologies. There is a mine drop. So same build actually. Similar build yet again. Going for the mine drop. This time it's more committed. As a reminder, last game was a double Widow mine drop. This time a triple Widow mine drop. And once again, he's investing into Intervention Matrix. It's very old school. Mine drop comes in. So far, good damage. Takes down the Stalker. Mine drop goes off. Stalker goes down. Another Widow mine here in towards the natural. Helium into the bases. So far, Shakti defends well enough. Does defend well. Cleans up the aggression. One Widowmine survives. And the reason why I say this is old school, this Interference Matrix space opener here was very trendy maybe 2 years ago, or even maybe at the start of 2024. Basically when Feast Colossus was still meta. When Feast Colossus was still a thing, and when these tank pushes could pop off. Of course, that was, I guess, even before Interference Matrix was even an upgrade they had to research. But Phoenix Colossus fell off. No longer as viable. And once again here, it is going to be charged into third base, double forge before the gateways. Again, just hyper greed here from Shakti. Staying on 2 gateways the entire time, barely an army. Only now getting into the gateways after the double upgrade. And I'll be honest, once again, it feels like he's getting away with it. On the one hand, yes, Yan, he will soon break out, but once again, third TC. Third TC is on the way. This time it is a third TC before the 3rd and 4th racks. Sorry, the 5th and 6th racks. 4th, 5th even. So if you remember, last game it was the Raxus first, then the CC. This time it's the opposite. So this time it's a more of an economic build by Yan. This means that Shakti is fine. This means that Shakti, he will not be punished. He's getting to his 8-gate setup, getting to a 4th base as well. Shakti is free to do as he pleases. As there's the 4th. Likewise, Shakti is containing Yan with 4 Stalkers. I should say he's just keeping an eye on any kind of move out. Move out gets spotted. Shakti does blink away. And only just now the first Zealots warp in. Just now warping in 8 Zealots at a time. We got 6, now another 2. Shakti throwing down a couple of shield batteries, securing his bases. And he's still pinning back that drop. I'll spin it back. Shakti rotating. Now, I don't think Shakti needs to push in right now. I don't think he needs to. The tank's already pre-sieged. He might be able to break this, but it's risky. It's unnecessary. Yeah, he pulls away. Shakti pokes in, sees the tanks, pulls away. Now getting a robo, and this should be for the bay for double robo Colossus production. Shakti once again getting into his build. Meanwhile, Yan, he secures his 3rd base, now getting into Ghost Academy. He is being much faster to take up this time. So both players are building up. There's that bay for the Colossus. And Shakti, I believe this build, this playstyle that he's going for, thrives with Yan moving out at the 3rd base timing. And he didn't. He did leave the tanks at home this time. He is pushing with his bio, but he has enough to lift, to pull away, to retreat. As he leaves the tanks back at home. Shakti getting another expansion. Drop comes in. Connects. Meanwhile, he symbols of the army, and Shakti's out of position. Yeah, completely out of position. The base is going to go down. Massive pickup. Shakti just now responding. Nice kiting here by Yan. And missile goes off. Does shred the armor. And Shakti is in trouble. He is in trouble here. Yan, he might just be able to stim in. He might just stim and win. As there's still no Colossus, there's still no splash damage. He has double robo, but nothing's being made. Oh. And being forced to pick up, being forced away. Does pull back, Raven goes down. Better pickups towards the end for Shakti. As the drop is cornered. Is cornered. Shakti double expanding, getting top right and bottom left, or center left. Now getting to double Colossus. Still very tense between the players. Still very tense. We'll see if Yan can save these drops. Yeah, he's gonna try to. His goal to break these drops out. So he does move out. He has EMP, he has Ghost. Getting into +2. Army gets spotted. Shakti, yeah, gets the hell out of there. Does blink away. Supplies are neck and neck. Viking production just now beginning for Yan. This is Vikings. Ooh, likewise, medevac goes down. There's 2 medevacs left. Again, he rotates. This time Shakti is keeping up. Keeping up with the rotation. Ooh, last will drop into the main. Do we have anything in position? Do we have a warp in? Army tries to respond. It's going to be a late reaction here from Shakti. Colossus is exposed. Yeah, we just stem in. Colossus goes down instantly. And yeah, he's doing it. He has done it. He's just pulling Shakti apart. Getting the Colossus, reinforcing towards the 4th base as they're saving it. Getting another Colossus. Another Colossus goes down. And another. No shot. He gets 3. Takes down 3 Colossi. Knocks down the expansion. Yeah, and he's just all over Shakti here. Just pulling him apart. Remember, there's no blink. There's no blink. Oh, sorry, there is blink, but there's no stalkers. Not enough to keep up with the drop play. None in position. Army sims in once again. Takes out another Colossus. Yeah, the Colossi, they just topple over. They cannot keep up. Not with Master Order. GG gets called, and Yan ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. GG. We are going to game 3. And we'll see how this story ends. We'll see how the story ends. So far, Shakti has gone for the same overall build 2 games in a row. I would not be surprised if he goes for it here in game 3. But yeah, this time Yan, he went for a different approach. This time he was a little bit more conservative when it came to his opener. Likewise, he was faster to get into a 3rd base. He was faster to take up into Ghost as well. He was, yeah, more willing to go for a later move out. If you remember, in game 1, he went for an earlier push, which he got completely shut down by. And I mentioned it here in game 2, that I feel like Shakti, he wants to engage with these earlier move outs, you know, with these like 2-3 tank pushes. But if you remember, he never moved out with his tanks. He kept them back at home, checked up into Ghost before moving out across the map. So well done there by Yan, taking a different approach, more successful. And that leads us here into the ace match. We'll see if Shakti does shake it up, or if he commits. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of King's Cove, we have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Hellfire from Brazil. It is Yan. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player representing Izzy's Gaming from the land of Brazil as well. It is Shakti. But again, Yan, he was more defensive. He turtled up, he got his natural, he got his 3rd base, and then he moved out with a greater army, with a more robust Marauder-based army as well, with more medevacs. Left his tanks at home, was able to have a more mobile army as a result, and he was able to catch Shakti with his pants down. He was able to sneak up on that 4th base, if you recall, or the linear 3rd, and knock it down. But now we load into King's Cove, and this is where I'm more concerned for the Terran. Now, the reason why I'm more concerned is because this map is larger. It is a larger map. It is a more defendable map on 3 bases. You can see here a very narrow choke point coming into the natural. Likewise, a choke point and ramp coming into the 3rd base. It is easier to defend on 3 bases and to secure yourself. And the 4th base is usually the main point of contention. But at the same time, it's going to be difficult to pull Shakti apart on a map like King's Cove. Not impossible, but more difficult. Likewise, if you want to be aggressive, it takes longer to reinforce across the map. So we'll see how both players adapt on King's Cove. For now, double gas opener into a faster factory, once again into a delayed CC. On the side of Yan. I'm still not in love with Yan investing into Interference Matrix. We saw it again last game, and we saw again that it never came into play. It was just a non-factor. Oh, let's go this way. The nuke here. Aha. Let's go. As, yeah, this time he opens up Reaper, and he opens up with a 2nd Reaper as well. Okay. Opening up with additional Reapers. Expansion is going to be taken. And he does poke in. Once again, Twilight Counter out of Shakti. And I'll be honest, I don't expect Shakti to change up. I don't expect him to really shake things up too much. I do feel the strength in 2-gate opener into a third base, into double forge on King's Cove. I do feel like you can get away with it on this map a little bit easier than on others, but we'll see. We'll keep an eye on Shakti. If he throws down extra gateways, if he throws down an earlier forge. Now, there's the 1-1-1. CC on location this time. We head into the main. Is going to be force fielded down. Despite that, still gets one probe. Just the one, though. Just the one probe, not as worth it. Does at least scout the tech. Does get eyes on the Twilight Council into Blink. Once again, 2 gateways into Blink, into what should be a third base. Yeah, there we go. Third base is on the way. So far, same opener. Once again, Yan setting up for that mine drop. Blue mine's on the way. Should be able to pick him up with drop play again. I would say that it's harder to pull that off here. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, just because the map is so much larger. And this time the drop is spotted. Shakti with intercept. Well, we do right over though. We do reposition. Yeah, Yan, he does double back. Boost on the right hand side. Shakti is looking for the medevac. Does miss it. Pulling back for now to the natural. Getting ready for the drop. And in towards that main. Gets spotted by the observer. Yeah, he is spotted. Shakti trying to react. And he should pull away in time. Like, we should not get too much economic damage here. Yan does unload. First one goes down. So far, good defense here by Shakti. He defends well. Drop does head towards the natural. Likewise, Widowmine also. Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god! Shot goes up, gets 2 more probes. Meanwhile, Widowmine into the main. Shakti does pull away. Whew. Shakti defends. Hi. Shakti does defend. That was almost disastrous. That was crazy. As the workers were stacked up. From here, Yan throws down 2 more maxes, getting to his own 3-1-1 setup. Standard setup here by Yan, going for his add-on swaps. Into +1. Ooh, meanwhile, do you see what I see? Okay, we are going for a singular forge this time and an earlier gateway explosion. If you recall, last time, for the last 2 games, Shakti's been going for a third base into double forge, and he would delay his gates. This time, a lot earlier. Now, we'll see if this is for... Oh, God, rushing to a 4th, though, still. I was going to say, we'll see if this is going to be for an earlier timing, and as he is chronoing out +1, or if he feels threatened and if he wants to be safe. Regardless, this is less greedier than last time. Yeah, delayed second forge, but a second forge nonetheless. So this tells us that Shakti, he's not going for a +1 timing. He is just trying to be as safe as possible. He feels threatened against a potential move out. Likewise, Shakti doesn't really see much. He is now moving out with some zealots, but he is in the dark. He is setting up for a longer game, but he's not cutting as many corners. He's being a little bit more careful. Likewise, Yan back at home. There's that third CC. Third CC is on the way. Similarly timed to the last game. Shakti throwing down spotter pylons. Gaining map control. We got pylons all over the place. We spoke earlier about YanXII trying to pull Shakti apart with drop play. Well, Shakti, he is getting ready for that as well. So basically, after the last game, Shakti, he's responding to that. He's reacting. Throwing down spotter units everywhere to make sure he has full vision. Now getting to 2-1 upgrades. Yan does now move out. He is spotted by the zealots. Shakti knows, and Shakti responds. Now Shakti's just warping as much as he can. Is trying to keep up with the main army. Doesn't know exactly where it is. Again, moving forward. And Shakti doesn't engage. Oh! Winter mines are set. This time, additional winter mines. Missile goes off. Big connection. Not bad. Does get Dorito dust all over the army. Oh, retargeting. But last Yanni doesn't quite commit in. Decent mine shots. Mine shots going off. Another missile. This time, Yan, he will bait out those mine shots. Does bait them out. Yan pulls away. Doesn't want to engage. We do see a second robo on the way here for Shakti, getting to double robo, double Colossus production. And Yan, he pulls back. So far, Shakti is holding on. Last time we saw Yan sneak up on the expansion and snipe a Nexus. Not this time. And it looks like we're headed towards a longer game state here. Shakti is getting a 5th, and Yen will most likely get a 4th CC. Behind this, we have Liberator production already. Liberators are on the way. Little mine here towards that natural. Shakti reacts in time. As we are committing to the move out here. Army does push. Once again, it's spotted. Shakti knows. Shakti getting ready. Yan, he doesn't commit. After he got spotted by the Zealot, he pulls away. Does pull away. Again, he respects Shakti enough to know that if he gets spotted, then Shakti's going to be ready for it. Oh. 3 probes, not bad. Gets 3 workers. A pylon goes down. After the pylon is killed, then the army moves in. So again, Shakti doing the best he can to try to come in unnoticed. Dustin forward. If I go up, not this time, not yet. He's kind of nice forces. Oh my god, forces, they look down the army. Colossus coming in. Shakti looking to overwhelm. Does force the pick up. A couple units they get behind. And yeah, he has to retreat. Has to pull away. He cannot fight this head on. Does pull back. Getting now into Viking production. No Ghost Academy yet. Tanks are sieged. Shakti does rush in. This time less certain of one tank goes down, but the Zealots are going to melt. Yeah, Zealots are falling. The Colossus is going to be exposed. Now it's time to chase. Nice force fields. Locks down the army. Whew. Does save the Colossus. Yeah, and he was ready to dive. He was ready to dive in. Does get locked down. So far, Shakti, he's holding on, he's maintaining his own. Getting another Nexus. Getting a 6th base. Yan containing, Yan being contained here on 3 bases. He's trying to get a 4th CC. He's trying. Now getting to a Ghost Academy. Still stuck on 3 bases. Shakti's the first to max out. Building up more Colossus. Shakti's reached his, or is reaching his final form. As once again, all that Shakti has to do, we've been here before. The win condition on King's Cove, deny the 4th. Deny the 4th base over and over again. Whoever has map control can do so quite easily. It was so important that Shakti was able to establish his own 4th base early on. And with that, Shakti is out here patrolling. Throwing away a couple of probes, which makes sense. He has 90 workers. You could argue too many probes. You could argue too many. Yep. He's going to kill them himself. Has to co-op supply. The workers are hurting Shakti more than they're helping him. So it feels bad, man, but it does kill 8 probes. Does have to. Now getting to a 3rd robo. Except that when this is done. Oh. Mind Shot as well, it's not bad. A nice EMP. EMP pops up. First Colossus is going to go down. Oh, but that's still 5 Colossus. Oh my god. Despite that, no more Zealots. The army sims in, and he's going to clean this up. This army cannot fight this head on. Not like this. Not without Zealots, and every single Colossus is going to go down. Massive win here for Yan. Yan, he cleans up the army. Now it's time to keep going. Now it's time to keep pushing. As we've mentioned even in the previous game, Shakti cannot fight this without Zealots. Those Zealots are so important when it comes to tanking. Now there are Zealots, but it's too late. It's too late. The army has fallen. The army has crumbled. He killed 5 Colossus. It's also why you don't over-invest into Colossi. You want to diversify into Disruptors as well to force Micro out of the Terran. Otherwise, they can just stim and win, but they can just commit. No Disruptors, no splits. I mean, they like it, Bobby. They like it. No Disruptors, no splits, no problem. As the Gateway army does move in. Nice choke point here for Yan. Again, this choke point is brutal. Shakti cannot push up. Does rotate towards the 4th. Planetary's up and running. Is a wider ramp coming into the 3rd. Does charge forward. Zealots go down. As Zealots fall, he has to get out of here. Cannot keep pushing. The Immortals will help against the Marauders though. But one Immortal goes down. Meanwhile, Zealots are wreaking havoc. 20 SCV kills here at the natural. Oh my god. 20 SCVs. Not bad. Yan, his economy is crippled. 20 workers do fall. And this is still very close. Still very close, very clutch. On the one hand, yes, Yan has been trading more efficiently. He has been taking better fights. That is all true. But on the other hand, Shakti has a better economy. He has a booming economy, has all these bases. If given time, Shakti can rebuild and remax. Oh no! Almost else was another Colossus. Liberation has arrived. First lives they get thrown away, but he will get 1 Colossus. Does get 1. Does get 1. He doesn't have enough to keep going though. Yeah, too many Stalkers, not enough Vikings. Viking count is low. Shakti holds. Whew. Shakti maintains the army. And he's making 4 Immortals at a time. That's gonna be a lot of Immortals, mate. That's a lot of Immortals. Aye, aye, aye. And he pulls away. And that is the answer to the problem of all these Marauders. It's the Immortal. So Immortals are amassing. Oh. Denies the 5th. Denies the 5th CC. Charges in. Zealot's going to be going down. There are some Vikings, but not too many. Not enough. Yeah, Viking hat gets reset. Boys are being pulled. And Shakti, he's done it. He has broken the back of Yan. Takes out all the SCVs. GG gets called. And Shakti will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the lower bracket finals. GG. GG, well played. This also showcased the map itself, something that we try to bring up here on King's Cove. Because it's so large, reinforcing and counterattacks take a long time on this map. So even though we saw Yan take a beautiful fight where he was able to kill 5 Colossus and reset the Stalker count, that was a really strong fight in favor of Yan. By the time he moved out across the map, Shakti, he already had reinforcements, he already had Immortals and Zealots. Like, again, it just takes so long to move from one side to the other. It does give the defending player enough time to rebuild, to muster up a defense and to survive. You could argue that there needs to be more pressure on Yan to push, and even if he couldn't fight through the main army anymore because of those reinforcements, he needed to at least counterattack and try to hit some mineral lines and try to hit some of the fringe bases as well to try to slow Yan down. Alas, instead, he had to back off, had to rebuild, had to reinforce, and it did give Shakti enough time to mass up once again a second army. GG. GG, well played. Whew, but very tense, very intense game, very back and forth. Shout out to Yan for holding his own against Shakti, but in the end, Shakti did claim the series, and that leads us into our next matchup. That leads us into our lower bracket finals, into our next best of 3. It is going to be a rematch between Master and Shakti. Now, in the first series, it was honestly very short. It was a very short series between the two of them. We saw a lot of attempted and failed all-ins from the side of Shakti. We'll see how he will adjust coming into the rematch. Let's go.